Hey everyone, we're back with another video. Sorry about last video's kind of clickbait.
Yeah. I do this to us, Sarah, because I'm like, we gotta do the clickbait, and this says don't do the clickbait, and then I kind of still do. So we are gonna get better about that. It was a little out of control. But how's it going, everyone? Today, we're gonna kind of talk about two things that are definitely related, because it made me think. I saw something and it made me think about something else. But we're going to start here, and this is going to lead us to where we're going to go. Over the weekend, huge Champions League semifinal. It was the first leg of the semifinal, and I think a lot of people thought Barcelona was going to almost like easily take this. Easily, Barcelona is going to win it. Chelsea stuns Barcelona 1-0. In the first leg, and everyone was so pumped. I mean, I believe it's Barcelona's first home loss since like 2019. So it was big that Chelsea came in and won, and pumped for them.
I do love Chelsea, but I feel bad for Ona.
Yeah, actually, after the game, it looked like I got a TikTok. It looked like Kiera was like crying, like her eyes were really puffy. Of course, I would cry. Who wouldn't? So pumped for them. We'll see what happens. Obviously, the first leg. It's important, but Barcelona could still come back and go to the finals. And if anyone can do it, it's Barcelona. But one of the people who was not there to be part of the Chelsea win was one of Chelsea's long-term keeper, Ann-Katrin Berger, officially, and is leaving and is now going to your and my team, Sarah.
Gotham FC, y'all. Best team ever.
Yeah, they're having a rough start to the front of the year, but it will work itself out. But she officially is heading to Gotham, and that's exciting. Ann-Katrin had been there for a very long time. She was there for 6 years and 114 appearances, so a very long time. And as we remember, I don't think this came as a shock to anyone, because Ann-Katrin really had not been playing much. And there was apparently a fallout between her and Emma Hayes. It's been happening for a while. And this is kind of what's going to lead us to our next point. But it says Chelsea boss Emma Hayes responds to claims of a rift and with out-of-favor goalkeeper Ann-Katrin Berger. The timeline's a little bit, I think I have the timeline right. There was kind of reports that there was a falling out between Emma and Ann-Katrin.
Berger has been the Blues' #1 for a long time, but competition for her place has increased substantially this season, with England shot stopper Hannah Hampton joining the goalkeeper group that already includes Sweden star Musovic. As a result, Berger has only played 7 games for her club this season, though she has also been out with injury at times.
She had been out with injury. And, she had a concussion, very serious concussion, but she's only played, 7 games? 7 games the whole season, so that's not very much. And so it seemed like there was possibly something going on with Ann-Katrin. Then Emma Hayes made the comments about player-to-player relationships being inappropriate. And so a lot of people are thinking, hey, she had a problem with Ann-Katrin. Maybe there was something, Jess Carter got involved or something, and it led Emma to make the comments that player-to-player relationships were inappropriate because it was fresh on her mind, because she was having issues maybe Ann by herself, or maybe them as a team, kind of saying, hey, you can't treat someone like that. So, meaning Jess got involved and said, hey, don't treat my girlfriend like that, don't treat my partner like that. Maybe not explicitly, but maybe implicitly. So it led to another issue. So it's like this all made sense, but those comments definitely did not help the morale of what was going on.
That's pretty wild stuff.
Yeah
It's kind of like a soap opera.
Yeah, kind of like a soap. And I almost feel like Emma couldn't help herself by making those comments. There was probably issues, and it was happening right then, and she just kind of said, hell, player, I don't want to deal with, almost like 2 people against 1, if that makes sense. Yeah. Or like, I don't want to deal with, I have to put up with someone's girlfriend too.
Right, yeah.
There was reports, after she had made those comments about player-to-player relationships, there was reports that Ann-Katrin had been banished from the squad from Chelsea. So Chelsea goalkeeper Ann-Katrin has fallen out with Emma Hayes over a few problems and has been training with the boys. Germany women boss claims. So what happened was there was a report from the German head coach, that's who Ann-Katrin plays with, that Ann-Katrin basically was banished from Chelsea playing with them. Now she has to play with the boys because she can't play with the girls squad anymore.
Is that even legal?
I know. Yeah, Germany woman manager has suggested that Chelsea goalkeeper Ann-Katrin has fallen out with manager Emma Hayes and has been training with the boys. So the comment was, for me,
she's the type of player who is incredibly good for the team. She's playing with the boys in England at the moment and, as far as I know, has a few problems with her coach there. But Emma Hayes later denied that claim. Speaking after Chelsea's 1-1 draw with Ajax, she said, "We have boys in our training every day. They should be so honored." Sure, she probably has been, but so has everyone else. No, Anne has had a concussion. She's only been back 2 sessions. I don't know where these comments have come from.
That is kind of like the story, I guess. The fact that Ann-Katrin has left and all the situation seems a little bit tense. The fact that Ann-Katrin has left is not a surprise to anyone, I don't think. I mean, Emma's on a roll with wild comments, and we talked about that last video. Because when Emma made those comments about player-to-player relationships being inappropriate, Jess Carter was the one who was mainly retweeting or liking the comments on Twitter. I don't think Ann-Katrin liked anything or wasn't. Now thinking about it, maybe Jess is like, I'm sticking up for my girlfriend or for my wifey. You know what I mean? Like, I guess I'll go here too. You know, what does that mean for Emma and the U.S. women's national team? Are the players there going to be very hesitant to ever express a relationship with another person on the team in fear that Emma's there's going to be a problem with it? Because I feel like the two problems were separate and then it became something bigger because Ann-Katrin had a problem with Emma. Then maybe Jess didn't like the way Ann-Katrin was being treated. Then Emma made the comments about player-to-player relationships, and then it turned into something bigger because there was another component of it. Now, you could say that if Jess got upset about something that was said to Ann-Katrin, it had to do with just Ann-Katrin and Emma, then that was the problem. I'm not saying that was because I don't think so, but it did turn into a better thing. But that goes back to what I talk about managing. Managing is just not on the field play, it's off the field play too. So that's Emma's responsibility to manage all aspects. Emma made those comments about player-to-player relationships, and then it really took a turn for the worse after that.
Yeah, I don't know how well that would go over in the U.S., but wild stuff.
And so, like, I'm just reading some comments. It says, wow, so the rumors of her fallout look to be true. Shame she didn't get a proper farewell. I wonder if Jess will leave Chelsea. And then it says, and someone says, she deserved better than this. Hope it isn't fallout from the Emma comments about player relationships. Good luck, Ann-Katrin Berger. And then it said, and someone said this, I'm thinking it had to do with the circumstances around her leaving. Unlike Magdalene Purnell, Ann-Katrin Berger had been iced out of the squad since the Arsenal loss. The send-off may have been awkward if she had a falling out with Emma. So a lot of people are saying, those comments definitely did not help, and it could have been a direct result from those comments, even though it looked like Ann-Katrin was kind of going out of favor. Someone says Emma Hayes falls out with Ann-Katrin Berger, banishes her from the squad, talks about teammates in relationships as also being inappropriate. Jess Carter openly, publicly shows disdain at her comments. Not hard to figure out what happened there. So yeah, so I think it's definitely all related, but it also kind of gave me an icky feeling about Emma Hayes is going to, the U.S. women's national team. I hope there's not an issue with that. At this point, I don't know of any open couples on the team. Right now on the team, but I mean, if there ever were to be, I did read this comment though. As we talked about, Chelsea beat Barcelona big in the first leg of the Champions League semifinal, and guess who the player of the match was of that game for Chelsea?
Jess Carter.
So she was feisty. She played great. That back line played great. and from what I watched, the comments I read, she really deserved that player of the match. And then I read this comment. Someone goes, "What a 24 hours for Jess and Ann-Katrin Berger. One transfers and the other is the player of the match at the Champions League." So I mean, what a 24 hours. I bet Jess is feeling feisty. I bet she's unhappy. We know she's unhappy about the comments, but hopefully her and Emma have come to an understanding where, liked those things on Twitter, but they've come to a, professional understanding. And I'm sure Jess in one way is happy for Anne that she can move on and go play somewhere else. But also it's really sad that, your partner is leaving and you're going to be far away. So it's definitely bittersweet. But Anne gets to move on and experience something new.
What a better place to do it than Gotham.
Yeah, exactly.
Beautiful, beautiful team.
I think Jess Carter, I read she has 2 more years on her contract. Does that mean she's going to leave? And anytime a player goes to another team, it always puts stress on a relationship. We have seen it over and over, but it doesn't mean it's going to be the end of the relationship either.
That's true.
That's not going to happen. I already know it.
Oh, these two are in it to win it.
Yes. So wild situation. But the one thing, we're going to talk about this, and then we're going to go, but there are coaches out there who have been asked about kind of what Emma said. And one of those coaches actually is the coach of the Irish squad, Eileen Gleeson. She is the newish coach. She took over from Vera Powell last year. And, when everything was going around, she was asked, what are your thoughts on player-player relationships? And I mean, she was asked and she answered it. And I don't know if I'm going to play the video because I think there might be a copyright situation. But in the video, she pretty much just said,
she said, as a coaches obviously have views and opinions on everything, really. And when asked about if relationships change the dynamics, she said, yeah, they do, but they're also a feature. So you have to be able to manage it, she said. And she brought up boundaries, like you have to have boundaries and you have to know what that looks like within a team environment. And so people in relationships have to have an awareness of potential impacts that they can have in a dressing room, for example, because it's a small environment. So yeah, she said there's lots of dynamics, but she kept saying, it's a feature. It's just a feature. Mm-hmm. And it's just about managing boundaries and behaviors around what it looks like to be in a team setting. I like the way she put everything. I like the feature. I like the feature comment.
Yeah, I'm thinking the feature means something positive when she said it's a feature, but she might just be saying that as a neutral comment, like, yeah, it's part of the game. It's part of the women's game, a feature, just like something very neutral. So I don't know if that's a positive or a neutral. Either which way, it's a net positive overall.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah, it was nice of her to make those comments, seeming very supportive of people, especially coming from the Irish squad. I think we mentioned it every video because it was such a major thing, the whole Ruesha-Katie situation. She was obviously not the coach at that time, but I'm sure she was firsthand aware of the impacts of the team, especially after the fact, when she became head coach. And the fact that she said that, and she said, hey, as long as you have boundaries and you have expectations, as long as everyone's aware that it can be done, it can be successful. And I was glad to hear that she had said that, because she could say anything, but she really sounded sincere. So I was happy to hear what she said after the whole thing now with Ann-Katrin Berger leaving. I mean, I thought of that instantly when I heard Ann-Katrin leaving. I go, this is fallout from those comments, because those comments were very hurtful. Even if Emma has a point, that two things can both be true. Yeah. They can be hurtful, but she can still have a point. I don't think Emma expressed that point correctly, but that goes back to Emma. Emma has a lot on her plate. She's been saying some wild things recently, and she's doing double duty. So, I mean, but I will say, if Chelsea ends up winning this Champions League, everything will be like cake. It will be like the frosting on top of the cake for Emma. I would be very happy for her.
The cherry on top.
Did I just make up a saying? Frosting on a cake?
You might have. I mean, there's already frosting on a cake. So.
Yeah.
I think you meant double frosting.
Oh, yeah, I like that. So I was happy to see Eileen say that. If two of Eileen's players wanted to get in a relationship, she would be supportive is the word. I'm not sure she'd be okay with it. She's like, hey, we can make it work. It doesn't matter. As long as there's professionalism, we can make it work.
she'd be walking him down the aisle.
Okay, so what does everyone think? Questions, comments down below. Were you surprised by Ann-Katrin leaving? I don't think many people were. Do you think these comments are going to have a lasting effect? Like when she goes to the U.S. women's national team? Or do you think she's made the comment, she apologized, everyone's moving on? The situation with Ann-Katrin seemed to be bubbling for a very long time. So, it's just kind of a wild situation all the way around. But everyone understands everyone's point of view. That's kind of the way I'm looking at it. Everyone kind of understands what everyone is saying, but it's like just kind of a shitty situation.
Well, I think the internet never forgets. The internet will always remember.
Yeah. I think managing the U.S. women's national team is about managing personalities a lot. You know what I mean? Because the personalities are so big. Yeah. And that could be a hard obstacle for Emma. Obviously, you don't have the personalities like Megan Rapinoe there anymore. And it's all younger people that are a little more moldable. I don't know how to say it. But I do think managing the personalities as just commodities is going to be hard as well, because it's a business. It is a business,
Yeah, exactly.
But Emma's there to win. That's what she cares about. Managing everything between personalities, internal things, football. It's gonna be a wild time. What does everyone think? Also, Chelsea, if they go on to win and go to the finals and then win the whole thing for Champions League, I'll actually be really pumped for them. Questions, comments down below. What does everyone think? Talk to everyone later. Have a great night. Bye.
Bye.